talking about my Stanley because I just got this year and I really love it. And here's some of the things I love about it. One is that this was the hottest summer on record in Houston, Texas, and my Stanley cup kept ice cold for 12 hours. Here's another thing, the straw, super convenient. Third thing I love about the Stanley, you can put it in the dishwasher. So I got my Stanley on actually Amazon Prime Day, so it was cheaper than the $50. But if you have a Stanley, you probably know how much it's valuable to you. So when I think about value, there's a couple things I want to talk about. First is that even though I love this Stanley, I made a mistake and I put the sticker on it because I thought it would distinguish my Stanley and I'd be able to find it. But when I ran through the dishwasher, it kind of made it look a little bit janky, and now it looks kind of dirty and I can't get it off. So I kind of defaced it a little bit. Here's another problem. I actually, when I ran it through the dishwasher, I didn't run the straw through the dishwasher, and I discovered that if you don't run the straw through the dishwasher, all kinds of little micro bits of mold grow in the straw, which is so gross, and I had to sanitize that. And so it gets kind of dirty in there, and if you don't pay attention because of all these like parts, it can get kind of like nasty in there. Here's the third thing is that there's so many Stanleys out there, and right now on Amazon they're like $70, and I got mine for clearance. So sometimes I'm like, wow, this is a great deal, but also it's probably not like all the colors that are $70. So my Stanley was kind of clearance price. I talk to a lot of students about value. Mostly what I talk about is how you are valuable. You're always valuable. You're always worthy. You're always awesome. You're always incredible. But sometimes in your life, there's going to be some things that you do that makes it feel like you're not as valuable. Kind of like this. Like you put maybe a metaphorical sticker on yourself. Like you start doing some stuff that makes you feel like you're not very valuable. Or maybe you quit your sport, or you don't make varsity, or you drop out of AP classes, or you just start to feel like you're not as valuable. Or here's another thing you might do. You might discover that there's been some things that you're not taking care of yourself very well, you're not getting enough sleep, you're not studying, and as things start to slip in your life, you start to feel kind of bad about yourself. You lose a lot of your confidence. It feels a little bit about like this. Like when I don't take care of this, it gets kind of gross and I find out that I'm like consuming all this stuff. And actually that's part of it too. In my Articulating Your Faith class, we just talked about what you consume. And my students gave up Instagram for a week. And instead of like scrolling on Instagram, they started to look to see what was in the Bible. So what they discovered is they sometimes don't feel valuable when they spend so much time getting lost in their phones, scrolling, mindless things like that. Instead, when they fill themselves up with other things, they feel more valuable. Speaking of the Bible, I have a verse for you. Psalm 139, 1 through 6 tells us that God finds you valuable all the time. He tells you that you are worthy because he created you, because he knows you, and because he loves you. And that's my message for you today. Whatever you're going through right now, whatever is scary or hard, or whatever you're not feeling good about, don't sit in shame. Don't get lost in your phone. Don't shut it out. Don't hide. Instead, know that God loves you and he finds you valuable. Just like this Stanley. It always keeps the ice cold. It's always convenient. Even if it has a sticker on it, even if it's a clearance price, it still does its job. You are called to a purpose. God has a purpose for you. Remember 139 in Psalms. Read it and see what it says about you. And come and see me for coaching. I'm here on Green Days. I'm here during A Block, and I'm also here before school. Let's talk about what you're going through so I can help you. Thanks.
Catches with his hand.